There we go. Welcome to part 3 of my Beginner Basics series on the Bob Ross technique. My name is Carl and I'm a certified Ross instructor. In part 3 today, we will be combining parts 1 and 2, the evergreen trees and the mountain, into a happy little painting. Here are the supplies you'll need to follow along with me. For brushes, number 3 or number 6 fan brush, a liner brush, 1-inch or a 2-inch brush, and either palette knife would be fine. For paint colors, we have sap green, phthalo blue, midnight black, cadmium yellow, and titanium white. And for canvas size, we have a 12 by 16 canvas or whatever size you have available, liquid white, and then liquid clear if you have that as well. So up here I have a 12 by 16 canvas. You can use whatever size you have available. I've covered it in a very thin coat of liquid white, and we're going to paint the sky. So I have a 1-inch brush. I'm going to go into a very little bit of phthalo blue, and I'm just tapping. And I'm tapping to distribute the paint more evenly in the bristles. I don't want it to be clumpy. Let's go up here. And we're going to do X strokes. And we'll start up in the corner. Usually it's darker the higher up you are. And then notice I'm just doing X strokes. And we're just going to do a very quick, since our focus isn't really a sky, we're just going to do a very quick sky. And the more you go over it, the softer it'll blend. All the brush strokes will blend out. Sometimes it's nice to leave the brush strokes, add some variation to your picture. Showing you in slow motion here. I'm really doing this, and I just do it very quickly. And we have that liquid white, and the blue is mixing with the white. And just blend across horizontal strokes. Remove any final brush strokes. And we're going to have some mountain and then trees going forward. So a little bit of black. Maybe a hint of white. But this should be a very dark color, and I'm going to pull it out. So get a flat loading area. And we'll cut across, handle vertical, little roll of paint. Maybe about that 1/3 mark. So 1/3, 2/3. So about 1/3, we're going to put the peak right off that side. So maybe, oh yes, maybe there's a big peak right there. Remember, we're focusing on that top edge. And then we're going to remove excess paint. So I'm going to reload. Little roll of paint. And then maybe we have, yep, right there. We have a little peak there. Little roll of paint. And then maybe over here we have another little bit right there. Now if you notice here, see how these two are kind of the same? I'm gonna make that one a touch taller. I usually don't want them to be the same size. I mean, it's your world. You can do what you like. I'm just going to vary them a little bit, just something like that. And I'm just, again, scrubbing that top edge, but I want to remove as much paint as possible. And I'm going to grab the same brush that I used for the sky, and we're going to blend out. So I'm going to grab, remember, thinking of highlights will be on this side, shadows will be on this side. In this painting, I'm going to grab and then pull. So I'm really focusing, just careful not to go above the mountain line. And then we're going to really focus on blending. So that top edge. And I'm pulling the paint. Now shadows will be this way. Maybe, you know what, maybe this one will come like that. There we go. And then there's a little peak back there. And then in here, I'm just going to kind of blend and pull the paint, let it mix with the liquid white on here. There we go. So I have my palette knife here. I'm going to pull out a little bit. I'm going to kind of just scoop and mix that. Pull it flat. I'm going to wipe my knife, get it clean. We're going to get a little roll of paint, just like that. And we're going to go up here, let the canvas take what it wants. There. As I go down, you'll kind of notice, maybe right here, as I go down, I'm going to drop, so I'm letting the paint grab, and then as I go down, I'm dropping the handle of the knife. And then maybe up here, yep, let's go to the big peak. Highlights from the right. There we go, we got our breaking snow. Little roll of paint. Maybe, oh, look at that. That comes right around, just like that. And then maybe this one here comes over, yeah. Very, very light pressure. And the more you do this, the more you'll get a feel of how that canvas wants to pull the paint off. And again, with this tutorial, you can pause as you need, rewatch a section. And let's go into some shadows. I'm going to grab a little bit of blue. We'll scoop up some white. And we'll take that mountain mixture just to dull it down. So I'm scooping and then pressing down. Kind of mixes it nicely. And as you know, I like to use the small part of the knife. I feel like I have more control. And then maybe back in here. Yeah, look at that. Again, leave some of that dark. More paint, maybe right up in here. Ooh, I like this. Look at how I left that little bit of dark there, and it pushes it back in the distance. And then maybe right there. And over here, I just want a little indication, a little bit of flavor out there. There. Little roll of paint. Again, not much. And then right here, we'll kind of bring some of those jagged parts out. Just getting some indications, some color out there. This is the brush I had liquid white on, and I'm going to tap. Remember this angle, the longer direction of the brush is in line with the highlights and shadows. So the highlights go this way. I'm going to tap and really blend. We want to create that mist. And then I'm going to pull up. Now, don't go too high, just a little ways. But look at how it softens that base. And then I'm going to tap over here. Now this has some white on here, it looks like, which is okay. It actually helps the effect I'm trying to create. And then we're going to lightly pull up. Remember, I'm flowing this way, so the brush, the longer direction of the brush is in line with shadow. And we're going to soften. Soften right in there. And remember, we have liquid white on here, so that's going to continue to mix and blend. And right in here, we'll just kind of balance both sides, right where it jets out. Now we're going to do some trees, those distant vertical trees. I'm going to get my knife to mix up a color. I'm actually going to take the mountain base with the shadow mixture. We're going to mix that together. So it's kind of like a bluish gray. Maybe bring in a little bit more white. There we go. I'm at a little bit more blue. Have my fan brush. We're going to load chiseled both sides, so I'm pulling through. And then I use my thumb to rotate, just like that. Now one quick note, I do have walnut oil right here. I have liquid clear right here. And then I also have a little bit of liquid white. So I always have those available if I need it. So I tend to prefer walnut oil, but you could certainly use liquid clear. I'm going to go into a little bit of the walnut oil just to thin it out because we will be going over the mountain area. We're going to put some distant vertical trees right there. And maybe this group. So tilting the brush up. Maybe something right there. Reload. Just like that. Get that chiseled edge. Yeah, maybe these go a little bit higher. Like that. Maybe they kind of fade out down there. And again, we're going to create a layer of mist. So I'm going to tap about halfway down those trees, and we're going to let the liquid white help blend and create that mist. I'm really pushing into the canvas. And look at that. It just softens and creates that mist for us. And just like that, and I'll kind of blend, maybe lift up a little bit. Don't touch the tops. I mean, you can if you want to. And just like that, we have some mist. We're going to do some layers of trees. I'm going to take that mixture and we're going to go into some sap green. I still want it, we're going to do those vertical trees. I still want this to be on the lighter side, maybe a little bit of black. I'm going to grab a little bit of walnut oil, not much, just a little bit. Loading that chisel, just like that. And then maybe this layer, maybe we have some trees right there. And as we get more forward, we generally see a little bit more color and detail. So maybe these ones are like right there. So I'm tilting the brush up, using that top edge, and then pressing and sliding down. I'm going to reload. But by doing that mist layer, by adding that mist, it really helps with that separation. Maybe these trees go down here. I'm going to reload. You can use whatever size fan brush you have. There, something like that. And look at that. Just adds that extra layer and depth to your picture. Ooh, I like that one. Just change up the height. Back to my 1-inch brush. And we're gonna really blend. Don't worry about down here. We're gonna add some more trees that'll cover that, but I'm gonna really blend the base. So again, if you can see that I'm really pushing those bristles and mixing the liquid white in here. That's the goal. And then we'll kind of soften, lift up, and soften, just like that. Now I'm going to take that same mixture we just had. We'll add a touch more sap green and some more black. So this is going to get a little darker. Maybe we'll add just a change of flavor, a little bit of cad yellow. Same brush, and I'm just going to go into the color, get that chiseled edge. A lot of paint. All right, maybe we have some trees, get that top edge. Using that corner. And these go right in front. Look at that, and that really pushes that back layer into the distance. Reload. And maybe here and there, tap the trunk, corner of the brush. Maybe we'll bring these down a little bit lower. Maybe down in here. I'm reloading. And maybe we generally don't want these to be the same height, so maybe we have something right there. And you can add as many as you'd like. Remember, I'm just here to kind of help you get started, and then you can have fun and be creative. Just like that. We'll do a few more, and then we'll add our final layer. Maybe right here. And by adding the liquid clear, that just thins the paint enough. Especially if you're going over a lot of thick paint. There we go. Maybe we'll add one more. And some of these might be covered, but that's okay. Maybe we'll have right there. Corner of the brush. This is really good practice for evergreen trees. There. So I'm going to get my black. We'll go right there. It might grab a little color, but that's okay. So mostly black. I'm going to add the liquid clear. Just a little bit. Kind of mix it in. So I am going with a clean brush here. You don't have to. You could clean yours. You could wipe yours down. I just have another one available. And lots of paint. Now this, when we put this layer up here, it's really gonna pop that background, or it's really gonna push those trees into the background. Maybe, yep, right there. Remember, we are going over a fair amount of paint, so maybe these ones come down kind of right in there. We'll just fill that in. So we're just going to add lots of evergreen trees, so chisel. Maybe we have, yep, right there. Corner of the brush. And don't worry if we go over the other trees that we've just worked hard on. Now it is mixing a little, so we'll reload. I might have to add liquid clear, but we'll find out. There we go. There we go. Maybe a little bit more liquid clear. And maybe we have some trees right there. Just like a whole bunch of trees in layers. There. Go all the way down to the bottom. Now, if you wanted to, you could add some bushes down here, but I think for this today, I'm not going to do that. And maybe we have, yep, right there. As Bob would say, we're going to give him a bunch of friends. Corner of the brush. And then notice we still see those trees just through the distance. Creates that illusion of depth. And maybe right here, maybe there's a little one. Notice how I'm tapping just little bits at the top of the trunk, and then as we go lower, more pressure. And we're just kind of scrubbing in down here. And maybe, yep, maybe there's one, maybe we'll put a little, maybe there's a little one right there, even tinier. But they're all friends. A big group right there. Look at that. Corner. Remember, don't branch out too quick. Kind of work your way down. Ooh, there we go. Reload. Down here, it's kind of a just scrubbing color. And maybe we have another one, kind of a big one right there. Corner of the brush. Comes across. There. And I kind of want to make this one a little bit more distinct. There, I like that. Just so it stands out a little bit more. All right, and don't forget, liner brush, and you can sign your painting. We're going through a lot of paint. Thanks for joining me on part 3 of the Beginner Basics series on the Bob Ross technique. If you haven't checked out parts 1 and 2, be sure to watch those. I plan on breaking down more of the Bob Ross technique in future videos. Happy painting. See you next time.